doors are decisions to be made. However, the decision itself is already in one's mind which door could increase its tension dramatically. Door is a catalyst for tension. Doors are decision to be made. One decision to change everything. The story, the plot, the rhythm, the flow, the continuity, the atmosphere, and its effect within space. Every crucial decision involves a door within a door, clusters of doors, layers of doors, door as a threshold, door as a foreshadow, door as the beginning of the end. Most doors that are used in films are functioned as a transition space, but not every door is important, and we are not interested in those doors. This is a door that defines a movie, and the plot is a door that narrates the statement of a specific film director, highlighting their philosophy and knowledge in filmmaking. A door that you won't expect until you realized it's already happened. A door that would generate a sense of ambiguity, surprise, suspense, and escalating tension within a space. A door is not a door without its multi-directional meaning. At this point in time, we will be looking at 5 brilliant movie directors and how they use door to define the most crucial decision done in their film, from the peak of classical filmmaking to the innovative Hollywood blockbuster. Now we start by looking at Andrei Tarkovsky's film Nostalgia. Andrei was a Russian filmmaker, writer, film editor, theorist, and opera director. His films are characterized by long takes, unconventional dramatic structure, distinctly authored use of cinematography to show what's going to happen later in the form of spiritual and metaphysical themes. In one of the scenes, Tarkovsky brilliantly used a threshold in the form of a mirrored door with a wooden opening. As the main character is trying to look what's behind the threshold, he sees himself as another person that he met before, which will influence his decision in the later scenes. Tarkovsky cleverly used the mirrored door to show dominance and power of the other character that will greatly impact the story. The film The Man from London depicts the story of a railway pointsman named Maluang, who is in the middle of a complicated human ambition and tragedy. A plot that involves a cop, a case full of stolen cash, an arrest, and 2 killings, but you'd never know it. In this scene, Tar brilliantly brought up the tension by not showing what is actually happening inside the hut. Typically, for his filmmaking style, he loves showing up mystery by creating hidden clues of what is happening. Also, as one of his mastery, the 2-minute super long shot that is shown here, which we had to fast forward 10 times of its original speed, defining still shot of a door, uncovers questions to the audience. He forced the audience to wait outside the door, patiently guessing. In this shot, Maluang entered the hut, ended with him getting out of the hut and breathed heavily. This emotional intricacy of the character plays an important clue that reveals the answer to the question. In the later scenes, we finally found out that Maluang was actually killing someone when he was inside the hut. Famous for his long takes with deep philosophical meanings, Bela Tar is surely an impressive art film director. Tar's long takes and elemental imagery have often led to comparisons with the great Russian director Andrei Tarkovsky. But unlike Tarkovsky's, Tar's work operates in the post-Christian world, stripped not only of spiritualism and symbolism, but also of metaphysics. For Tar, film is a medium of concrete reality, in which a cigar really is just a cigar. A similar method of not showing the action directly in the film is also shown in Robert Bresson's film Les Anges du Péché. As his first feature film that was released in 1943, this film shows intrication by a tragic drama that revisits the contradictory role of good and bad, life and death, and mercy and revenge. In one of the scenes that we presented here, the character Thérèse commits a revenge for false imprisonment with real murder. Bresson, similar to Bela Tar's film, did not show the victim and kept it hidden behind the camera. The only bit that was shown here is the man's shadow, which gives a clue to the audience, and thus Bresson tried to keep it low-key as to focus on Thérèse's action itself. Oliver Hirschbiegel is a German film director, and his most notable work is the Oscar-nominated World War II film Downfall. In this bunker scene, we heard a loud noise coming from an unknown source, which Hirschbiegel decided not to exploit in order to give a sense of suspense. The shot was a still shot of a door with a gun noise coming from the Führer bunker. Hearing the noise and realizing something had went wrong, a Nazi general rushed into a cluster of doors to check on the Führer. which further symbolizes the quick escalation of tension until he stopped and stood in front of the Führer room entrance with another Nazi soldier.
Ich melde, der Führer ist tot.
The man then tries to open the door slowly. He then approached another door to Hitler's crib, which escalates the tension dramatically. As he finally opened the crib, the viewers are left with the notion of curiosity as the still shot was taken from inside of the room, facing outside to the soldier's facial expression, not hinting what has happened to Adolf Hitler. This then gives an effect of tension as well as conspiracy, as if Hirschbiegel is trying to hide something, which brings up the notion that Hitler himself looking over the shoulder from low angle and never actually committed suicide. Steven Spielberg is one of the most popular directors and producers in the Hollywood film history. Spielberg's directing style and filmmaking techniques have gained acclaim with his utilization of the reflection shot, expansive visual textures, and close-up during tense situations. Often dubbed the Spielberg face, is still in use today.
I suppose it's time to go. Though I would rather stay.
In Lincoln, Spielberg portrays the life of the great U.S. President Abraham Lincoln on his struggle to legalize the 13th Amendment and put an end to slavery in America. This scene depicts just after the Congress successfully passed the 13th Amendment and Lincoln celebrates this victory. Spielberg prepares a plot twist through the White House's cluster of doors. Even though Lincoln should celebrate his victory, this scene in contrast is shown in a very dark atmospheric tone, accompanied by many monumental thresholds. The facial expression of the characters in the mise-en-scene surrounding Lincoln was gloomy. The scene, thus, does not portray happiness but sorrow, as if something is about to happen to President Abraham Lincoln. A series of long shots was taken as Lincoln leaves the White House to visit a concert, as he says, "I suppose it's time to go, though I would rather stay," as he leaves the room via a threshold. He then leaves the White House, departing all his legacies behind. Spielberg uses the door as a direct foreshadowing to what's going to happen to Abraham Lincoln in the following scene, which is not directly shown in the film. It gives a hint as if Lincoln himself is to be taken out of the White House just to be assassinated. The door symbolizes that the character already accepted his own fate, as he transcends through many doors. A door of departure, a door of afterlife, a door that leads to his own demise. Door has the power to create tension. Tension is built up as one is responding to an action that is unknown.